Hi there, Eve here from Vitamin Eve Nutrition Counseling, and I am passionate in helping people have peace and ease and freedom with food in any situation, no matter what is happening in their lives. So today we have a really important topic about how to prevent overeating, when you get too hungry. So I feel like this is a very relevant because so often it could be so easy to accidentally let yourself get too hungry. I know when I was learning this stuff, I would accidentally get too hungry because I wasn't paying attention, or I wasn't used to listening to my body's cues, or if I got too busy. In fact, there was a time when I first started my private practice, I had another job at the time. I would book too many clients in a row, and so I just never made time for my lunch. So there's several reasons why we may accidentally get too hungry. You could even reflect right now. I mean, what are some of the reasons you may accidentally get too hungry? So the reason why I'm making this video is because when we get too hungry, it could be really stressful when we finally come to eat. I mean, when we get too hungry, when we finally get to the restaurant, or when we finally prepare food and we're sitting in front of the food, it's really hard to not overeat. It's really hard to, not feel like a bottomless pit and want to get too much food, then feel too stuffed, and then get mad at ourselves. And what happens when we get mad at ourselves? Many of us, we decide to restrict, and it starts like a whole vicious cycle, right? So what I'm excited to share with you, what to do when you accidentally get too hungry so that you don't overeat when you finally get to be in front of food. And this is a 3-part video series. This is the first video out of 3. The next 2 videos will provide additional tools. So I'm just gonna go one at a time. So I want to share myself as an example, that example that I was telling you earlier. I might be here, I work out of my home, and I might have, several clients scheduled one after another. Well, I don't do this anymore. I've learned. So I used to have several clients, scheduled one right after the other, not really giving myself a time to eat a meal. And so I would accidentally, from time to time, I would accidentally get too hungry. And so I live really close to a Mexican restaurant, and if you've seen my other videos, you know how much I love Mexican food. And so I live near a Mexican restaurant. I get there, I order myself food, and before I know it, I'd eat all of it, feel totally stuffed, and feel so uncomfortable, and be like, why did I do that? Can you relate? I'm sure you could relate, right? So the first tool I want to share with you is, I call it ruining your appetite on purpose, blunting your hunger, or taking the edge off of hunger. So let me share a little bit about what that tool might look like. So let's say there's a day where I have too many clients booked one after another, and I accidentally get too hungry. So before I leave the house, I might grab something to eat, so that it takes the edge off of my hunger. So when I'm finally at the Mexican restaurant, I'm still hungry, but I'm no longer starving. I feel more composed, my blood sugar levels are, a little bit more evened out, and I'm at a lot less of a risk of overeating. And so I feel like this is a wonderful tool if you're one of those people who, for whatever reason, accidentally gets too hungry from time to time. I want you to know, this may not work for you if you're somebody who's still in restricting mode, somebody who gets too hungry too often, because as long as you're teaching yourself that food is scarce, you just may have this undercurrent of binging or overeating because your brain is not fully relaxed when it comes to food and eating. It still feels like food is scarce. So if you notice that more times than not, that every time you serve food for yourself, that you might be overeating, there might be some restriction going on. Whether or not you're restricting actually really doesn't matter. Even if you're thinking that you're going to restrict or that you're about to restrict, this may still be a problem. So back to the story I was sharing with you, if you accidentally realized that you accidentally got too hungry, one of the tools that you could use to help prevent overeating is to actually ruin your appetite on purpose. So when it comes to choosing what to eat, I bet you're wondering, well, Eve, what are some foods that you use to blunt your hunger or to ruin your appetite on purpose? It's less important about what you choose. I'll share that with you in just a moment. But the more important thing, it turns out to be that when you're hungry and you're about to get something to eat, the thing that you want to ruin your appetite with is something that's finite. a predetermined amount. The reason why I recommend this is because, again, you're hungry. And when you're hungry and there's food in front of you, it's natural to want to eat whatever is in front of you. So if you don't want to eat too much, if you still want to be hungry because you're going to meet friends at a restaurant, or you're going out on a date, or you're going to be at a party and you want to enjoy the food there, the first thing that you want to think about is, what can I serve myself that's finite, a predetermined amount, so that you don't accidentally have too much to eat. So some examples, some things that I use in real life when I'm caught in this situation is I might grab a piece of fruit. Any piece of fruit will work. So whether it's a peach, an apple, a few tangerines, a fruit works great. Sometimes I might even have a couple of cucumbers. I love Persian cucumbers, and I love what they do for my breath and make me feel like refreshed. So I might have a few Persian cucumbers before leaving the house. A handful of almonds works really well for me, as well as string cheese. I've even popped a tortilla in the oven and enjoyed that on my way to wherever I was going. Again, it's just to take the edge off of hunger, because you want to arrive at the restaurant, or you want to arrive at your date, or you want to arrive at that party slightly hungry. You still want to have some hunger so you can enjoy the food there. And so these are some of the foods that I've used. Furthermore, I'm talking about experiences where I'm coming from home. So it's really easy because, my home is well stocked with really great foods. And there are sometimes situations where I'm not in a place where I have all of these nutritious foods available. So there have been times when I have ruined my appetite or blunted my hunger, or whatever you want to call this tool, with something like a square of chocolate, or with a handful of chips, or maybe even a cookie. Again, that takes the edge off. So when I'm in front of the food, I'm still composed. I still feel good, and I still feel like I have control. Anyway, as you're using this tool, as you're experimenting with this tool, or any of the tools I talk about in any of my videos, I just really want to make sure that you're patient with yourself, that you're kind with yourself. Because you see, you've been eating a certain way for a really long time. So expecting these habits to switch overnight may be unrealistic. I mean, sometimes that happens. Sometimes people have amazing breakthroughs and their eating really evolves very quickly. And other times, some of these tools just take a little bit more time to master. So I really want to encourage you to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself during this process. So I hope you found this tool helpful. Please write messages below to let me know what you thought of this tool, how you're using this tool. Also, I want to share with you a special event going on. I was invited to join the Conscious Eating Evolution. I'm really excited to be a part of this. The topic of this Conscious Eating Evolution is how to eat to improve your health, empower your spirit, and thrive on the planet. It's hosted by Karina Weber, and there are a lot of great speakers on the panel, and so I really invite you to join. If you are interested in joining in this conversation, I'm going to put a link in the description below so you could join in on the conversation. It's totally free, so I hope to see you there. And so to sign off, I just want to say, if you like this video and you want to stay tuned with the other 2 tools I'm going to share with you in this series about how to prevent overeating when you accidentally get too hungry, make sure you sign up. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube video, or if you want, you could go on my website and you could sign up for my ebook. It's called Stop Overeating Now. It's a free download, and once you sign up for that book, you will get all of these videos. You'll never miss a video. It'll come straight to your inbox. So to sign off, I just want to say thank you for watching. My name is Eve, and it's my passion to help people have peace and ease and freedom with food in any situation, no matter what is happening in their lives. Thank you for watching.